today we have the honor and privilege of rocking with one of the illest MCs and producers out of the galaxy of Queens, Astoria Queens' own, Tre Eiht. Clap it up for the God one time, man.
Thank you.
Yes, sir, my
Let's
brother.
rock
Thank
with it,
you.
brother. Nice speaking to you again. You know, we be chopping it up and shit and here and there on text and all that, but to actually like
No
have a
doubt.
conversation is dope. I'm glad.
Indeed, man. And long overdue, too, man. For
Well,
sure.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Thank you for taking the time, though, brother, because I understand you got a lot of things going on, wearing many hats, and your hands in a lot of different projects as well. You know what I mean? So we definitely appreciate that, bro.
Nah, for
But yo,
sure.
man, let's get right into it, man, because I got some things here. I really want the floor to be yours. I understand that you have a new project. And definitely wanna let you talk about that, build with the people on that, let them know what's going on with it. And yeah, talk your shit, man. But before we get into the new project,
Mm.
I wanted to shoot back to some of your previous work, man, and just get some of your thoughts on it. You know what I
Oh yeah,
mean, one
for
of
sure.
them is off the rip. Well, let's talk about how we came into contact with each other, right? This is quite some time now, right? We're talking about a decade now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I
a
believe it
little
was,
over
what's that?
a decade now.
Maybe a little over a decade now. If I'm correct, this was 2000 and I want to say 2012, Queens, New York.
Absolutely. 2012. Yeah, just about actually. I could say I was in eighth grade, bro. To be honest, shit. Yeah, it's
That's
crazy.
that's crazy, son.
Yeah.
Yo, and the ill shit is right. So I'm working on a project. 2012, I'm working on a project called Fuck the Radio. And a big chunk of the project is done. I'm working out of a studio that we both know very well, Goblin Music Studios in Queens.
Mm-hmm.
And my engineer, Spen De Niro, shout out to Spen De Niro,
Shout out
is
Spencer.
is constantly in my ear about this young producer. Yo, you gotta listen to these beats. This kid is ill, son. He's mad young. He's only 15. You know what I'm saying? The classic Cardan shit, know what I mean? But so I'm looking for an intro for my album. I get the folder of beats, you know what I'm saying? And this beat winds up becoming the album, the title track to the album, the intro, Fuck the Radio. You know
Dope.
what I mean?
Yeah,
Sets the
honestly.
whole album off. It seems the true nature of our culture has been perverted, and our righteous teachers have been demonized. The God is building, hold your tongue, son, the code is deep. Channel thoughts from dream state, resting atop of frozen peaks. Golden heat emits from my wisdom when I'm in Odin's sleep. No retreat, you hunger through Judas Iscariot. My shooters are ruthless, I have them shoot to your chariot. You are now in tune with the true and nefarious. You were in 8th grade when you produced that song.
I was in eighth grade. I was going into high school. Yeah, it's just
Tell,
crazy.
tell us tell us about this, man. Take us right through it, man.
So honestly, well, just going straight into it, right? The studio Gobs is in Astoria. I grew up about 4 blocks away from there on 37th Ave. And my pops and my uncle, they OGs in the neighborhood as well. They all know each other and stuff. Like, so it kind of became a word of mouth thing. And my uncle was like, "Yo, you need to go holler at Gobs. They got a studio up the block and shit. What the fuck you doing?" So I'm like, all right. I'm like, yeah, true. I'm like, all right, cool. So I have everything up on SoundCloud for the most part. I was just getting into it. Maybe I want to say like been making beats for like a year and a half. So now I'm more confident and shit. Now then I got like the Pro Era dudes and everything. They're like, oh yo, I fuck with your shit. Like
Right.
send beats through. So now my confidence is up. So I'm like, all right, let me holler at this dude. So I told him, I'm like, yo, peace. Hit him up on Facebook, and he was just like, yo, yeah, come through. He's like, you got some ill shit on SoundCloud. Like come through. So I pull up and he tells me, gives me the disclaimer, lets me know what I might see. Well, be prepared. And I was like, ah, yeah, it's no problem. I went over there and I left a folder of beats over there. And he was just, I guess, comfortable enough where he was like, this youngin, he's not stupid. He actually got a good head on his shoulders. He's not a loud mouth. He's calm, collected, humble. So that first day is when I met Starvin B and Shazzo York over there, and
No doubt.
I played them beats, and that was the beginning of a long journey of meeting a lot of great MCs. And I'm a student of y'all, bro. To be honest, just being around y'all all the time. Yeah.
Humbled, brother. Humbled, man. Shout out to Shazil York. Shout out to Starvin B, man.
Mm-hmm.
Certainly some of the original class of MCs that came from that studio at that time in that era. You know, the people that set it off. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
definitely. Yeah, I definitely say so.
Yeah, for sure, man. I remember Starvin B is actually the first MC that I invited there. You know, in the very beginning, there was the only MCs there were me and Goblin. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? And I was working on what would ultimately become Hell's Gate.
Welcome to the
Down
Hell's
down
Gate.
the line, is
Yeah.
some of it will become opposition as well. And
Mm-hmm.
Starvin B was one of the first people that I reached out to. Just saw him online, didn't know him from anywhere, and said, "Yo, son, you nice, man. Let's get something going. I'm working out of this studio." And yeah, the rest is really history, man. We did a song, we shot the video the same night. Right there. I think it was the first video shot in that studio. To be honest, man, it's "Get Some" to the Ghostface joint.
Come, get some, you little bum. I keep the gym star right under my tongue. Go ahead.
And it started this alumni of MCs, man, just inviting different MCs, having these ciphers, man, in these situations where everybody was really just trying to show how ill they were. That was, the element that really made that time and era special. You know what I'm saying? And to have to have a front view to that, man. So eighth grade, you're what? 14 years old. This
Yeah,
is
I had just turned 14 when I met you at the barbershop, right? I had just turned 14 because I had just came off of work with Pop Dukes. I used to work with him every summer, and you was having the hat, you was selling the hats and everything for Fuck the Radio and all that. So I was like, yo, I gotta
indeed
come through. So yeah, I had just turned about 14. Yeah.
crazy. And prior to this, you had done work with Pro Era already, or had you
It was
submitted work to them, or
it was in the works. Like it was like I was still sending them beats, and one of the first beats that I had sent them ended up being placed on the last album that Capital Steez is a part of. So it's a big deal. So it's
rest
like
in peace, Capital Steez,
rest in
man.
peace, Capital Steez, that dude. Who knows what he would have did if he was still around? Because he definitely had the following, he had the connections, he had the vision. But no, it's like
And he had a
that.
special kind of relatability to him too.
Yeah, very much so. Honestly, like yeah,
For
that's
sure, man.
yeah.
Indeed, man. So at this time, though, right? You're making beats. You're sending beats to Pro Era. Now you're hitting Goblin Music with beats.
Hmm.
Different slew of MCs. You know what I mean? Which is a wide
Now,
range of MCs. A lot of
now
people
at
coming
that
through.
point, yeah. Now that I'm already like a foot step in the door. Now I'm like, this is where I want to be at, and especially that young. You know,
At
so
the time, are you rhyming at the time? Are you MCing at the time?
funny thing is, I started out rhyming, bro. I started rhyming when I was 9 years old. When I was in third
Wow.
grade, I started rhyming, and my first
Wow.
rhyme books, my mom still got some of them. And my first rhymes, I I used to how do I explain? I used to look for beats so hard, and like I wanted ill beats, but I couldn't really find anybody. And then I had met some dudes in Ravenswood that went by God City, which is so fucking funny. But they went by God City, right? It's
Wow.
dude in Memphis,
Yeah,
Tennessee.
yeah.
And I went over there and I recorded some stuff, and I liked the beats. But I felt being that I was a little young, it's like they kind of was just like, yo, yeah, I'm gonna send it to you, and they kind of just kept giving me the runaround. But we cool now and shit, so it's like it's in the
Cleaned
past.
it cleaned it up later and
Yeah,
shit.
yeah, we cool now and shit. But it's like I felt like back then I was like, man, they give me the runaround. Like I'm never gonna get
Yeah,
no
yeah,
beats.
yeah.
So I was like, I gotta make my own beats. And my pops lady at the time, she knew that I like making music, so she bought me Reason and FL Studio. So I was just sitting on these programs for like 2.5 years, and I used to be on Jam Glue making mixes. This website. And then one day that website crashed, and I was like, I think it's time to start making beats. So and I got into making beats. I didn't really rap as much anymore, and then uh Sean is the one that actually got me into rapping again. It's like,
Wow.
yeah, that's the reason why. Him and Starvin are the reason I started rapping again, because
And how does this come about?
it came about because there were certain beats that I knew what needed to be said on them, and it's like I had a vision of a certain artist being on them, and then when they heard it, it wasn't what they were feeling. So I was like, damn, what am I gonna do with this now? Like, let me do something to it, and then from there on, just sharpening my skills and learning about internal rhyme schemes and double entendres, and like really sharpening my skills, and like now I'll like fuck around, do like a quadruple entendre, like it can be like, is
No
once
doubt.
you start learning the art of it, then it's like, oh, this shit is fun. Like, oh, I can
Yeah.
play around with words like this. Yeah.
Yeah, manipulating the frequencies, man. Yo, rest in peace to my guy Sean, man. One thing about P, man, is that he could talk about rhyme techniques and approaches all night. You know what I'm saying? For hours, just comparing. Yo, look at this trick I did here. We used to do that all the time. Be
Or
like, try to come up with names for him and shit. You know what I mean? Like, this ain't exactly a metaphor or a simile. This is a, you know what I mean? And it just ill shit, man. Just the technical side of it, the love. You know, it shows the absolute love for it, man.
yeah, for real. It's
That's
like
amazing.
making something out of nothing, and it's like it's amazing, honestly, bro. When once you see what you could really do, once you put your mind to it. Uh,
Indeed. And you've been doing it, brother. You've been doing it. You are one of the MCs who is consistently getting nicer. Like with every offering, every feature, you could tell you're getting better and better. You can tell, you can hear that you wanted that. You know what I'm saying? Like you wanted it. You know what I mean? I feel like that shines through. You know what I'm saying? Because you have it. You know what I mean?
thank you,
Indeed.
thank you.
No
Nah,
doubt, brother.
I'm very humble to hear that, bro. To be honest, that's what I do it for, bro. Thank you,
No
thank you.
doubt. No doubt, man. No doubt. The skill shines, man. The skill always shines the brightest.
Hmm.
To double back, man, you did the intro to that album I put out, Fuck the Radio. I put another album out. That was the intro to that. I put another album out that year called End the TV. And you
Hmm.
did the intro to Fuck the Radio, and then you did the outro to End the TV by chance. I don't know if we set it up like that. You
No,
know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
honestly, I didn't even realize that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
holy
track is
shit.
called The
The
Lunchroom,
lunchroom
featuring
with one take.
with one take.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
absolutely. I just realized that.
Yeah. I
Wow.
was looking at it the other day. I said, "Yo, that's ill." I don't remember really doing that on purpose. You know what I'm saying? So
It just that's what is it? Is that divine intervention?
I guess it could be.
All right,
We'll use
it was
that.
it was just meant to happen. That's ill though.
Full circle, man. Full circle. Indeed. But you've released a few projects, solo projects. Metatron.
Yes.
We humbly pray.
Another one of your niggas died. Damn. Fuck, man. Rest in peace, my niggas Steve, man. We pray, man. Do this for my niggas, man.
Since PS 166, I knew I would be better than decent. Angel the third, here to rule a game infested with demons. From what they heard, never stood up for the Pledge of Allegiance, and never attended to churches with reverends and deacons. I don't need a building to worship the heavens, and Jesus carried traditions on this earth from my brethren beneath it. I chill if the block's hotter than the weather in Egypt, but still flip a hot product on the step with discreetness. Stop listening to the beat and grab the message between it. Matter of fact, fuck it, it ain't worth the breath of a genius.
This is talk to me about the motivation, inspiration behind coming with that title for the
So
project.
so my man's rest in peace, Paul. That was my first mentor, and he played a big role in my upbringing. Kind of like he introduced me to Big Noid. The first person I ever spit a rap for was Big Noid, like,
Dope.
and and it's like he introduced me to like a lot of elements of shit. When he used to call me Metatron, and I never knew what it meant. Like, he was way ahead of our times.
Right, right.
Yeah, he took his life though when I was 13. So I didn't
Sorry to
know.
hear that, brother.
Shit happens, man. I feel like everybody has a purpose in this life, and some people they leave earlier, and others It's the inevitable sometimes, but that man, he used to call me Metatron, and I never knew. Like, I was just like, yo, what's good? Yo, what's good, Metatron? Then later on, I ran into his brother, and he had told me, he brought that up. He reminded me that, and I was like, word, that's crazy. And then I did the research into it, and that meant basically the messenger of sound, of writing and everything, like in Hebrew. That was the angel of it was the angel of recording, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
It's there's a lot to it. It's very deep. It's also who Enoch. You know, if
Enoch,
you hear about the book of
the
Enoch, it's
book of
what
Enoch.
Enoch transforms into when God witnesses his righteousness, allows him to enter heaven as an angel.
Uh,
You know what I mean? So it's definitely grabs you immediately when you see that. It's whether you're familiar with the text and with the literature or not, it's a very striking word. You know what I'm
mhm.
saying? And I think it's dope that you chose it, man. The cover art for that album is phenomenal. That's one of my favorite covers. You know what I'm
Thank you,
saying?
bro.
Because
Shout out Craig Franco, bro. That dude's name.
shout out Craig Franco. That looks like a real. That looks like it came from before. You know what I
Like,
mean? Like it was from before. You know what I mean?
I had an ill like a classical music album that my pops had found in a building, and the cover was basically like similar to that. So I had Craig go and kind of redraw it with my face and the bucket hat signature. I don't really
Fire.
do bucket hats no more though. I think now,
Really?
yeah, nah, barely. Yeah, I think I'm gonna start doing the fro, the crazy fro and shit. Like I'm trying to get back to that.
Just got tired of the buckets?
Guys, yeah, I just got tired of them. I had so many of them, and it's like, just maintaining them and all that.
Collecting them?
Yeah, it's just like, I'll pass them down to my daughter one day, maybe.
No doubt. Hey man, speaking of buckets, you know what I'm saying? My favorite joint from you, undoubtedly, because it's a whole complete experience
Mm.
and speaks to me on different levels and for different reasons, will be God Bless Your Life.
Another day of life. How could I possibly not appreciate it when lives younger than mine are being abbreviated? Inebriated thoughts printed on the sheet. We use alcohol to bring our inner demons to defeat. My people say I'm calmer, I consider it evolving. Learn that from my nigga Mega on that Mars shit. Grand larceny lines line my cerebellum. Now they all listen to what I've been trying to tell them.
This is like a love letter to Astoria in certain ways, you know, through the video. Um, and also just you took, you know, many of our favorite one of my favorite films, maybe my favorite film of all time, very possibly. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And just did something real homage to it, man. Something real beautiful. Tell us about that, man. You know, tell us about that whole video, that song.
Yo, honestly, that it came so out of nowhere. I was just riding by, the church, because a lot of people don't know Bronx Tale was shot in Astoria, and it's like it blows their mind.
Bryant High School,
Yeah, right there, Bryant High
crossing
School.
PS10.
Yeah, the Ches Bippies right there on 30th Ave. You feel me? So it's
Yeah.
like all of that, the funeral home. Me and my boy Gutter and I believe Danny, the engineer. I mean the engineer, the videographer for that video. I believe we were driving past there, and I'm like, yo, I don't think anybody's ever did a video like about like the Bronx Tale, like like paying homage to the Bronx Tale. I'm like, I can't really think of a video. They also agreed. They're like, yo, word, I don't think anybody did it. They're like, oh fuck it, you need to be the first one, nigga. I was like, I think I got the perfect song for that. I was like, you know what? I think I got the perfect song for that. And then I had already recorded God Bless Your Life, and I had Shorty put vocals on it. So they helped me bring that vision to life. Shout out Gutterware and Detailed Films, Danny Cinema. Yep.
Detailed Films and Gutterware. Shout out to both of those brothers for that. Both of those camps, you know, for that because that is a phenomenal. That video comes across perfectly, and you bodied it too, son. Your acting scenes, you know what I mean? Chasing son across the street, and then you know what I mean. That whole shit just came across effortless, son.
came
And
off came off naturally, and what's ill is that I was able to have my father play Sonny Giselle,
yeah,
and he did
that's
it.
amazing.
It's natural. So it was
Y'all
cool.
both killed it, and you could tell that it's a real jewel within your life, something he really has been teaching you and wants you to know. You know what I'm saying? And hey, those are big shoes to fill, man. You know what I'm saying? Lilo Brancato and Chaz Palminetri, you guys gave him a run in that scene. You know what I'm saying? It's pretty good, man.
Yo, shit.
But yo, you start off that song though, right? And this is you produced this. This is
Yes, I did.
self-produced.
Yes, yes.
Incredible, man. You start off the song. How could I possibly, early in the song, how could I possibly not appreciate it when lives younger than mine are being abbreviated? That's a hell of a way to start a song off. You know, that's it's real. It grabs you because this is a problem that never goes away ever in our lives, especially if you live in a city, a place like New York City or L.A. or Detroit or Chicago.
Oh yeah, all of that.
You know what I mean? And that it just grabs you from the beginning. But this section is done without the drums.
Hmm.
So you go into this no drums. You know what I mean? You pull them into the song, and then you bring the drums in later, and now driving the message even further home with just a masterpiece, son. You know what I mean?
You want to hear a funny story about that? Actually, is it wasn't intended to be like that. Originally, the whole beat had drums, but that beat specifically was supposed to be given to Mayhem Loren, and he asked for it. He asked for me to remove the drums. So I was like, all right, cool.
Okay.
So I removed the drums, but he never hopped on it because that was a project that I was working on with Gob from Goblin, where I was gonna fully produce this compilation album with all the heavy hitters over there. It was pretty much done, but being that the album didn't really get done, I just took the beat. Mayhem never hopped on it, so I was just like, all right, I'm gonna do something to this, and yeah, that's why half of it doesn't have the drums though. That's actually the backstory behind it.
That's ill. That's ill. That's dope, but it works out perfect, man, because I think it illustrates the story, the picture that you're painting. I think it was a good idea to start it that way. You know what I mean? Especially with the cinematic experience. When you're watching the video, it's just like this, this is a good choice, man, to start like that.
Yeah, and then in the video, that's who ended up being my lady and my baby mom's mom is the female that plays damn, I forgot her name in the movie.
Jane.
Jane, yeah, Jane. So yeah, my lady ended up being she was Jane in that, and then she ended up being my lady. So
God bless, man.
so full
Beautiful,
circle,
beautiful
right?
story, man. For
Yeah,
real. Illmatic, brother. Once again, shout out to everybody involved in that, man. Detail Films, Gutterware. Shout out to Pop Dukes, man.
now for sure, yeah.
There's this other joint, man. Nicholas Craven produced.
Mm-hmm.
CBB.
Yes.
Complex Beat Battles.
Made the choice between the streets and making history, fam. Cause the voice travels and fans get to hear me in France. Make your journey worth living on this misery land. This world's full of Warcraft, no wizardry fans. Maybe if y'all wasn't crushing and sniffing these ants, we could have discussions with substance on getting these bands. In the Mr. T van, it's trade team. Gotta wear apparel if I'm not in the state.
There's a line in here I like. You know what I mean? The whole song is incredible, brother. The video, another one, superbly done, matches the element of the song perfectly.
The darkness, the ambiance of the dark, and yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, indeed, man. You said something. Crushing and sniffing these Zans. Maybe if y'all wasn't crushing and sniffing these Zans, we could have discussions with substance on getting these bands. This is something that people can't hear enough because these this shit crippled. Let's talk about Astoria, right? Let's
Oh,
let's
yes.
talk about Astoria, right? Because you hear about the epidemic of Xanax and the pills and a lot of the opioids and the synthetic shit and all that. Props to you for mentioning that in the music, man, and for putting that energy and that frequency out there because people do need to understand that. You know, I've had some very close friends that struggled with it for sure. And Astoria just seems to be a place that is very, very sneakily and quietly devastated by these sorts of things. You
Yeah,
know what I
but
mean?
yeah, these epidemics, like
These
it's bad.
epidemics. Indeed, man. Let me ask you the big question, the flagship question of the Jewel Exchange.
Hmm.
What are your thoughts on God and religion?
I do believe that there is one true God. I do believe that. As far as religion, I don't follow really religion. I'm more of a spiritual person. I believe more in karma and dharma. You do good for people and you will get good in return.
100.
And I could only say that because of my experiences with it. You know, it's like when I asked for God, God pulled up. You feel me? It's like, and when I was doing bad, it was nothing but bad. I was attracting bad. I was doing bad. Everything just was going downhill. And I actually I found a Bhagavad Gita and I had read that and I was like I couldn't relate to certain like principles of these. So yeah, from
It's
there
ill.
on.
It's ill that you mention that, my brother, because like if you what's holding this phone up, it's an incredible book, a very complex one indeed.
That's That's crazy. See, like shit like that. When that's exactly what I'm talking about. When like I'm talking about something, and then it's like, yo, actually, look, ain't that some shit?
Indeed,
Yeah.
indeed. But continue on. I'm sorry to interrupt you, bro.
So yeah, as far as yeah, with that, yeah, I do believe there's God. With religion, I feel like they all talk about the same person. It's just a different name for him. They all have different languages. Religion, I feel personally, was created for people to have something to believe in. People. I feel like people need something to believe in, so they don't feel like they're here pointlessly. And religion, I feel like, is what gave them that guidance. Not everybody's spiritual, but it's like I feel like religion was created to give people something to believe in, so they weren't out here acting barbaric and you know killing each other and taking. I think people needed rules. They needed organization so that they can have society. We can be where we're at today.
Another thank you for that. That's certainly I can agree with that on many levels. I would add on that some also wanted people to behave less barbarous so that they could behave more barbarous. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, yeah, exactly.
You know, but yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you. Thank you for that, brother. Before I got a few more questions here, but before we get into those, I wanted to open the floor up to you and just put us on to. You sent me some artwork and you sent me a track listing to a new project that you got. Now, this project isn't out yet, right?
No, not out yet. I'm
Okay.
waiting for two more mixes, and then I'm thinking we probably aim for end of October, middle of November. To be honest,
All right,
'cause I
bet.
wanna I wanna let him release. He has an album that's supposed to be coming out, and I would just wanna I don't wanna try to overshine his and shit like that. I don't want to conflict with
Are
it.
you able to talk about who the project's with yet, or is it still under wraps?
Not, I could talk about it a little bit. So it's basically it, I was looking at it before more as a like my project, but then I cut off a lot of beats and shit. So it's the project is produced entirely by me and Etho from Rochester. We have on the track listing is he's spitting on three of my beats. I'm spitting on three of his. Um, and we have so far as what Pro Dillinger, Gangsta Rap Martyr. We have Starving
Shout out
B.
to Skanks.
Skanks got Starving on there. We have Word Life, and we have Tragedy Khadafi. Yeah,
Dope,
yeah,
dope.
it's a really good lineup. It's a lot of people for 6 songs, but it's nowadays. I say people's attention span. They're not trying to listen to long ass projects anymore. So I'm just trying
It's
to.
it's it's very
It's
true.
sad,
It's very true. There's
honestly. Like,
obviously the crowd is divided down the aisle with that a little bit, but I
hmm
think that the bigger crowd is on the more shorter, concise album side.
yeah, and
They're
then
more comfortable with those.
yeah, not only that, but it's just everybody. It's so much music being released and so many good artists. So it's like I don't think like a lot of people don't have the time to really listen to everything that everybody releases. Like there's certain there's certain albums from people that I love, like that I'm like, oh shit, he released something 2 years ago. Like, oh shit, let me listen to that, and I'll just listen to that for like two. Like I didn't even know.
Something comes out every day, man.
Yo, bro, for real, there's always something coming out, and it'd be some really ill shit coming out that it gets overshadowed because you got 10 other projects that drop the same day. You know.
Right.
But that's
Right.
what it is, though.
So what is the overall feel of this album? What do you how would you describe this album in comparison, or not in comparison, but just, in reference to your other albums, or where you've been leading up to thus far?
I feel like this project would be kind of like the first one where I can say I can get to lyrically spar with heavy hitters, because my previous projects, they don't really have much features.
Mm,
So it's like, I'm like, this is the one where I'm like kind of like proving that I can be in the same realm as my idols and the, like, people I look up to, people that
yeah,
inspire me.
I can invite these titans into my square and still hold my
And
own.
still
You know
hold
what I
my
mean?
own. Exactly. That's
Indeed.
that's kind of more what it's proven, like, to myself in a way. And then after that project, it's gonna be ridiculous. The whole lineup, even with Simon Hampton. I know you have something that you got for me for the Simon Hampton joint.
Indeed.
I got
Indeed.
a Van Gocho I've been working on for a long. That is
So
done.
Simon Hampton produced that whole project?
Simon Hampton is producing this project that I'm
The
working on.
the, the one after the Edo project.
hmm Yeah, he's producing that
Fire.
entire one. And then in the middle of that, I got another project I'm working with this producer from Argentina named Reason, and he got some heat too. Yeah, I'll send you something I just did right before I got on the phone with you. Shit's crazy.
Dope. Dope. So how does it feel, Trey, to not have to worry about providing the soundscape and just focusing on the pen? You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what now all I gotta do is get busy with these rhymes now.
It's relieving, but it's also it doesn't stop me from making beats. It just it helps me when I'm not inspired to make beats, I can listen to another beat and rhyme to it, and then when I don't have the creative juices to create a great rap song at the moment, I'm not like, yo, I need some inspiration. I can go back to making beats. So it's like, it's the best of both worlds, to be honest.
Never a dull moment.
Nah, bro.
Yeah,
Honestly.
yeah, we're gonna get to it one way or another.
Yep.
That's incredible, man. So as of right now, you don't have a date for the project with you and Edo?
Nah, I'm aiming for the end of October, but
Okay.
if anything, then if not then the middle of November, because I want to have this either the Simon Hampton. I want to have the Simon Hampton joint ready by Christmas time. Not sure if I'm gonna release it by then, but I want to have it ready by then.
Right.
'Cause I'm tired of being consistently inconsistent with my release dates and shit. So
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah. You're
trying
not
to.
alone, brother. I'm guilty of it too, man. You know what I mean?
I feel
I've done
like the
it
best
quite a
the
few
best do
times.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, and at times, what I do is I like to release my stuff on special days. So times when something went wrong with the album, this has happened to me a couple times when uh sometimes a file is uploaded, some they flag some, or whatever. Different
Yes.
things can happen,
Yeah.
right? But
Exactly. Sample
sometimes when there's
clearing.
a
Hmm.
a hurdle in front of the date, I'll be stingy and bullheaded, and I'll release it on that date anyway. I just throw it on Bandcamp or something because it's my mom's birthday or something, or my daughter's birthday. I'm like, it has to be this date. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
But I'm learning to really rein myself in before I start picking dates now. You know what I'm saying? And just completely have all my ducks in order. You know what I mean? Because we get excited as artists, man. We get excited sometimes, man. I might wake up one morning and go, you know what, man? That album I was holding, I feel like they should hear it today. You know what I'm saying? You never know. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Nah,
But we look forward to that. We look forward to the joint with Edo. Looking forward to the joint with Simon Hampton after that. You said the producer from Argentina's name is Reason.
Reason. Yeah, yeah. And that one's gonna be called Reasonable Doubt. Feel me? Like so, it's only right.
Fire.
Yeah,
Fire,
bro.
fire. I look forward to that. I'm gonna dig into Reason's catalog and see what's going on, man, and put myself up on some jewelry.
Oh yeah.
Hey,
Nah, he
Tre
got.
Eiht, I really appreciate you doing this, my bro. Word up,
Nah,
man. Thank you for
yo, bro.
taking the time.
I'm honored that you even considered me, bro. Like, it's a pleasure.
Of course, the people need to be educated, man. And you're one of the most skilled individuals that I've known since a very, very young man.
Like,
Yo,
yo,
before we get out of here, brother, leave the people two things, man. You can wrap it up in one answer if you want. But I wanted to ask you, what makes Queens such a special place? And at the tail end of that, just leave the people with one jewel, and we out of here.
what makes Queens a special place? You said
Indeed.
I Queens. All right, just Astoria is the second most diverse city in the entire world. Right? We
Indeed.
have every walk of life amongst us. I went to school with every single type of ethnicity, race, and when anywhere else, like people will come over here and it's a culture shock, and just that's a blessing. That's what's special about us. We are able to adapt wherever we go because we're not like, oh, what are they like? Oh, what like it's
Right.
unfamiliar to me. Nah, I know all of this. Like, yeah, I eat
Exactly.
I eat shish kebabs, I eat biryani, and I eat fuck arroz con pollo. You feel me? So it's like that's why Queens is a special place. It's a melting pot of
That's an
all.
excellent answer, bro.
Yep,
Excellent answer, bro. Excellent answer. And very
and
true, man.
and you said what was the other one? You said you leave the people on.
Leave them with one jewel, man. Something they could build on, something they could use.
All right. Well, I live by this every day. I've been going by this for a minute. It's you're the star of your own movie. So create a righteous plot and let God handle everything else. Feel me?
Fire, man. Yo, that was an incredible answer, man. On that note right there, we will leave the people, man. Once again, thank you. And I'll speak to you soon, my brother.
Absolutely, bro. Thank you, man. It's blessings.